Hi, it's Mark Schwimmer again, and I'm here for number 2 in the series Home for the Holidays Boot Camp. And I want to discuss something with you that's really very basic, something that you might actually already be doing, but you just don't know that you're doing it. And it's called a pattern interrupt. This is what you do when you don't want to either engage in a particular conversation or you want to steer the conversation in a direction that's more useful to you and anyone else that happens to be in that conversation. So, you're going to come up against people, and you already know these people who never seem to have a positive word to say about anyone or anything. And right off the bat, they're sorting for what's not working in their life, what's wrong with things that they have no control over, and generally they're people that are stuck in this pattern of not being able to get out of their own way. And you know who these people are. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And I want to offer you some higher quality responses when they start running their pattern. So you hear somebody say something that's just not interesting, not useful, and really there's no positive direction, no positive outcome can come out of it. So as you begin to hear them say their words, you say, "Oh, hold that thought." And this is what we'll call that. We'll call it the hold that thought interrupt. Hold that thought. I just remembered something I wanted to tell you, and I have to tell you now so I don't forget. So let me repeat that. Hold that thought. I just remembered something I have to tell you, and I have to tell you now so I don't forget. And then you can say whatever comes into your mind, something that makes some sense in terms of the relationship, or something you saw that you thought was funny, something that came up. You just add that in. Second one is if you're driving in a car, you might say to the person, "Oh, hold on a minute. I hear something funny. It sounds like it's coming from the back of the car. Just let's listen for it." And you could count to about 30 or count off a minute. Within the framework of that minute, almost guaranteed that person will have forgotten what it was that they were talking about. Another one that's very powerful is what I call yes and. So it's the yes and pattern interrupt. And in the yes and pattern interrupt, you're basically agreeing with what the person said, whatever it is. So you go, "Yes and, have you seen what's been going on at the airports with the TSA and the new body scanners?" Or, "Yes and, I can't wait to see so-and-so's expression when they see me Thanksgiving Day." Yes and. Just yes and them to death. It's a great, great interrupt. Great, great interrupt. So that's 3 tips I'd like to leave you with. Those are the tips that I want you to be using when you're faced with somebody who just keeps running their negative patterns over and over again. And come on back. We'll have a 3rd tip up for you in just a couple of hours.